Good evening, UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. This is your Welcome at Wolf 10. I am your werewolf. We are doing what is called a round table discussion. Another will be joining us tonight, but I'm here with the Bear of the North, Eloise the Viewer,
Greetings, everyone. How's it going?
the Warrior of Light, Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Greetings to viewers and fellow Final Fantasy fans. This is Final Fantasy Fan 012, and welcome back to another live stream of the UN Spacey Wolf Squadron. And today, we will have a roundtable discussion, which is going to be a chill stream, so we'll just sit around and have a chat.
I was told that we've been waiting for a lot of people to share their piece about what it is they wanted to talk about this week, come this weekend. So, anything on y'all minds?
I do want to talk about one thing, but I'll talk about it as soon as a certain someone gets here.
Well, I guess I'll just be sitting here by myself and talking to myself, and that's chaos.
uh,
I mean, y'all asked for this, and then suddenly, well, let's start by saying I hope you guys have called your mommies.
oh yeah, because Mother's Day is coming up tomorrow.
Oh my god, I didn't even know. my
You
no,
gotta be ashamed of yourself.
my mom was calling me earlier, and I was like, didn't respond because I couldn't hear her, and my dad was making a big deal out of it, and no wonder, because Mother's Day is tomorrow. Oh man, this is bad.
No, you got time to tell her. You have plenty of time today to tell her before the day shows up tomorrow, unless Mother's Day comes before you early.
I think my mom was more engrossed talking to whatchamacallit, my cousins. So
Yeah,
like
wow. Hey man, one of us already throwing up a topic.
Uh,
Discuss the best in dystopian governments in fiction. Pan Am, the
mhm.
capital. Pan Am.
uh,
The Hunger
Oh, by the
Games.
way, speaking of Hunger Games, have you guys seen the trailer
never
of the
bothered.
Yes,
prequel?
Never
yes,
bothered.
and I'm gonna tell you right now. I do not like the casting choice for a younger President Snow. That dude looks too damn evil. It really, he barely even looks like Donald Sutherland. Barely even looks close to the man. Just looks evil. Just outright, just maliciously evil. You know?
Can't imagine why.
I think they're making it too heavy-handed because they don't think the audience will get it. I mean, come on, it's a character from an existing franchise. Like, I'm pretty sure the audience understands. Just they don't need to make it like dead on. You know.
I mean,
Yeah,
does anybody like the casting choice for what's her face that was important to Snow?
I mean, I just find it funny that Peter Dinklage is back at it again, playing alongside another Snow.
Hmm.
oh yeah. Um, yeah, I just never bothered because fuck Hollywood.
Well, it's gonna be to the point where it's going to be to the point where we don't want to trust anything that comes with book adaptations today, as of
I mean,
today,
you
especially when it
know,
comes to the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games, I I'm gonna feel bad for the Hunger Games fans.
like I haven't really read the books. I just own a copy of Hunger Games, the first book. I really need to get on reading it.
I've only read the first one, and I didn't even finish it.
I will say that like the way the trailer looked, I don't know why, but I was getting Fallout vibes. Like some of the technology.
It looks too much like Fallout.
Yeah. Just like the technology. Okay, so like what's the backstory of Pan Am then? Did they get it was nuked, right? But like was it nuked in like the 50s
It
or
got
something?
flooded.
Flooded?
The whole world got flooded, and only the top the top half of the United States survived, to the point where they branched out to different districts, and each all over the country itself. And the thing that you're talking about that got nuked was District 11, or at least
Wait.
was it was purported that the capital nuked District 11, and and in reality, District 11 was only left. Was it District 11 or District 13? No, I think Katniss came from District 11. Yeah, it was District 13.
Hmm.
But whatever the case is, point still stands. The reason why they say it like that is because that was a lie that they built off of. When in reality, they left it alone because they had nuclear weapons, and they will fuck their shit up if they fuck with them, and that's only because they want amnesty from the Capitol. They wanted to manage their own shit and be left alone. So when they commandeer weapons of mass destruction, you know,
So
the Capitol couldn't really touch them. Because if they did, they would just fuck up everybody if they wanted to.
oh
And what happened was is that they struck a deal, and they told them, we're gonna leave you the fuck alone. Y'all take care of your own shit, and do your own thing. Y'all be independent and be self sufficient. We ain't gonna touch you. You know. What you gonna ask, Eloise?
no, I was gonna ask, so why didn't District 13 was it 13 that had the weapons? Why didn't they help the nearest districts to them?
Oh, it's because even though they were independent, they had so many failures to try to keep their shit together.
Alright.
Even though it's simply because excuse me.
I'm guessing it's 'cause they got independence, but in exchange they're like probably embargoed or something,
Well, in a
prevented
way,
from trading with everybody else.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. They have to really they have to stay in hiding, like incognito, and they have to do things that are basically DIY.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's gonna take
So
them years and years to actually be self-sufficient, like sustainable,
yeah, and
before expanding.
they managed it. That's the thing. They managed it. That's why they were able to pick up Katniss in them, because they were now beginning to get their stuff together and start the rebellion.
Hmm. So wait, I'm still trying to figure out what caused the flood. Does it ever go into detail into that, or is it really just global warming?
I don't think it was my global warming. They don't really say what happened. I don't even think. Honestly, I don't think the world is flooded. I just think that some part of the United States got flooded, but the rest of the world is fine. They just don't have no way of contacting, let alone travel.
Yeah, that makes sense. Could it be like an Attack on Titan thing situation where they think the rest of the world is flooded?
Yeah. Yeah,
It would have.
I was thinking that, but go ahead.
I was thinking, it would have been interesting if the sequel was discovering that no, the rest of the world isn't flooded, and
Hmm.
then it would be interesting to see a sequel like that where they have to deal with the rest of the world, finding out that
Or
they
or
still exist. Like for all we know, like the rest of the world thinks the Americas got nuked or something, and then the sequel would be the mystery of uncovering why the world is isolated.
or better yet, oh damn, I lost my train of thought. Better yet, I was you could start the sequel by the flood subsiding and land is now reachable and everybody can branch out again to the next continent.
Hmm. That'd also be interesting.
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot there was an anime. I think it was like a mech anime with like space squids and the world was flooded, so people lived on
Uh
boats.
Space
And
Squids.
it was a mech anime where some guy from space landed back on Earth, and the entire world was flooded, and people lived on boats. So all the boats were like connected to create this type of land. Like
Uh, s-
I can't
I
remember what it
still
was
don't.
called.
Oh,
I just
damn.
I just know that it had space squids, and that the main character was absolutely terrified by Earth squids as well,
Hmm.
as well, and was impressed that like the Earthlings were eating the squid, like just chopping it and eating it.
I thought you were talking about Blue Submarine number 6, but that's not what you're talking about.
Did it have a chick with the red hair and that dress kind of similar to like Nami? I think that's her name, right?
From One Piece,
Yeah.
you're a shonen manga reader and you're having a hard time remembering Nami's name. Shame on you.
I'm not really into One Piece.
But you are aware of Nami. She's a very popular character that a lot of women cosplay as, right?
Yeah, but I get her confused with Robin sometimes.
How the hell do you manage that? They both have different hairstyles and different hair colors.
Because like I don't read the manga continuously, so I just know a bunch of female character names, but I don't know the faces.
Oh, you're like me when it comes to freaking
Like,
back.
go on.
You're like you're like me when it came down to Spike Spiegel and great teacher Onizuka. And that's only because of the titles. I
Hmm.
confused Cowboy Bebop with GTO. Did this girl with red hair have short hair?
I think she had yeah, to shoulder length hair.
Oh, not
Well,
shoulder length. I shared
it
a
might be
picture.
long too. I don't know. I could be misremembering.
I shared a picture in the private chat.
No.
That's Blue Submarine 06.
By the way, I'm still trying to remember that anime you were talking about. I think it was something. I don't think it was Spriggan. It was something else. But it had I don't know what it was called.
I recommended something to you.
Yeah, but I can't remember if it was Spriggan or not.
It might have been Spriggan.
But there was something else you also recommended. I can't remember.
There was Spriggan.
Hmm. Does Spriggan have a guy with the gun and like some type of suit, some fighting suit?
Yeah,
All right, so I might have been Spriggan.
Spriggan is more like if James Bond had to had to wear a super suit and Globetrot, or you put Indiana Jones into a super suit and give him a gun for once.
What could you? What was the synopsis again?
They go around collecting artifacts of unknown origin, and they try to keep them away from evildoers with special abilities and what have you.
No, I don't. I think you mentioned Spriggan, but I don't think it was Spriggan.
Read or die. Your icon.
Yeah, that's Read or Die, but
I did recommend that to you
yeah, you did. I need to watch it.
because it
I
has
haven't.
because nobody knows what the books are for. They just know that cloned versions of famous artists want to collect them for some reason, and it spells the doom of the world. While you're
Wait, so wait, how did we go from Spriggan to Read or Die?
because
Oh,
those are anime that I recommended to you,
all right, but
and
there was something else. I'm
I want
trying
to talk
to.
extensively about them.
I know the.
Not all the way, but just most of what you're gonna see in those shows or OVA in the case of Spriggan. If you want to watch a, if you want to watch the latest iteration of Spriggan, you
No,
can.
no, I'm gonna stick with the old stuff because it's Netflix.
True,
Netflix
but
is
you can
touching a lot of anime with the bad
true,
touch.
but you can watch it on a different free site. You know that, right?
I don't know.
It's also 10 or 12 episodes, so you can download it. You know that, right?
Hmm.
Easy watch.
Damn, speaking of which, I need to catch up with all the seasonal stuff that I said I was gonna watch.
Well, you have priorities, so your priorities need to take precedent anyways. You have all the time in the world to be doing that before you die.
Yep.
And I'm wondering why Final is being silent.
Why was I silent? Because I was playing solitaire, and then
You
you would
play
just hear.
solitaire?
Yes, that's the one card game I play
What
a
of
lot
it?
of. What of it? Just to pass the
No,
time.
no, I'm asking her. What of it?
Oh,
You got a problem with solitaire?
No.
You got a problem with boys playing solitaire on their pastime to kill time?
No,
Was
I just consider it an old people game.
no, it ain't.
it really. Yeah, it really isn't.
I played solitaire when I was 12.
I actually don't know how to play it, so
Oh damn, you're such a well. You're not a zoomer, but you
I
What kind of
am.
card games do you play?
I am a
I
zoomer.
don't think she ever played any card games, dude.
I have. Like, I played Yu Gi Oh! I still don't understand
That
Pokemon
ain't
at all.
as close. That ain't what we talking about.
Okay.
You probably ain't never heard of Speed.
No.
Like any other card games besides solitaire, like poker, blackjack, slap, or no, not blackjack. Well, yes, or blackjack. Slapjack, or any other card games you play, or spoons.
Humble,
No.
get your butt in here. We need a second female, and we need your humor to lighten us up. It's kind of dry here. The more the merrier, anyways. I'm like Batman with a Batgirl and a Robin right now. We need a Batwoman or a Catwoman. Yeah, there we go. Pay no attention to the noise in the background. It's my wife fixing some stuff up to get before she go to bed. I mean, whatever dystopians do you think are the best has the best government, as Hitman had suggested?
Any dystopias are the best government? That's honestly an interesting question, but a hard one to even answer.
I don't know, but I just know that it ain't Divergent.
Show hell ain't.
Oh,
Divergent, man. I think I only saw the second one and the third
oh
one, but
no,
I
the movies are bad. Just
still
read the
did not
books.
like them. I don't think I'm gonna like the books either. I don't like. It just comes out to me as
I think like, it was trying to go for expanded world building because it does pulse world expansion thing where you realize your entire life is a lie and you're an experiment essentially. Similar to Claymore in the sense that you're an experiment. I'm not saying it's one-to-one. I'm just saying, but
not like that. I'm just like I'm just I'm not feeling that kind of world where you just you're just born a genetic coding and they
well, it's
put
not
you
really that. It's like whatever weapons of mass destruction it altered humanity's genetic code, so humanity is like freaking dysfunctional. So the higher ups of society decide, okay, we need to recreate the paths of empathy and whatever to like revitalize humanity. So they just choose people, volunteers, in order to repopulate, like create a new genetic pool that's more pure. Because a lot of people outside the experiment are genetically damaged, so they're dysfunctional. They tend to behave erratically, or they just are super psychopathic. So they're trying to. I get what the author was going for, where they're trying to say emphasize the importance of being compassionate
Mhm.
and sympathetic, or possessing empathy. Those, like, they were trying to emphasize that by saying that people who were divergent were able to express those things, and it's something that people outside the experiment and people who weren't divergent don't possess the ability to. But I feel it also falls into the trap of genetic determinism. And I think that's the pitfall of it. Like, it falls into genetic determinism.
Mhm.
But like, I think that's also why the main character dies, though, because the character possessed altruism as well, and they trusted you know all their friends and everything to carry on living, because even if they were genetically damaged, they weren't, just because they were different from them didn't mean that they were not human or less human or subhuman. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
Mhm.
like a deviant.
No. Okay, so basically, humanity has lost the ability to empathize, and all those positive traits that I mentioned. A lot of humanity has lost that because humanity is genetically damaged outside of the experiment. So the whole experiment is to start fresh and see if humanity, these people who are part of the experiment or volunteer to be part of it, could uh, have a progeny of humans that had those positive traits that they were looking for.
Mm.
But I think in the end, it does fall into like what I was saying, the genetic determinism angle. It does fall into that, but then by having the character die, the main character, and the people who they knew carry on living, it shows that essentially just because the main character did possess those qualities didn't mean that the other people within the experiment weren't human. They were just as human as the main character, even if they were genetically damaged.
I prefer Maze Runner.
What was Maze Runner about? Because I never read that one.
A big fuck all maze experiment, and all the boys were there, and all they had to do was get the fuck out, and then
Well,
it all turned into a rebellion, open rebellion after the month they stepped out.
but what was the whole point of the experiment, though?
It's like you said, genetic determinism. The death cure specifically. They wanted to make sure they had the death cure rating. And they were going to give it to those who are worthy. Your basic bad guys got the world cure, but they keep it for themselves.
Wait, who got new so hard? I'm looking at the comments.
Divergent.
Oh, yep. Hitman also mentioned read a book called Undying Mercenaries. Cool concept, but mega retarded. That book's empire makes the most corrupted galactic government in the past 10 years look competent. There's a galactic government? Or you mean like fictional galactic governments? I'm confused. Is that a Star Wars reference?
Could be.
And also, hello, William Soba. Damn, I forgot who you were on Discord.
Don't say his name out loud.
Alright. There's a Muppet anime. Humble Marty says, I went with Retro Crush because Muppet anime. Oh, okay, it says fictional. I was like, I was gonna say, did we really just go from Trump Space Force to Israeli aliens to galactic government now?
I think it was talking about I think it was back when we were talking about Divergent
No.
way earlier.
He said galactic government, so I was just trying to crack a joke, but it just failed.
Cause I'm reading through, it says cool concept but mega retarded. That book's empire makes the most corrupted galactic governments he's referring to that book. Oh, he's referring to that book of Undying Mercenaries.
Sit your ass still, motherfucker. God damn it. He killed me.
What you playing?
For Honor.
That's the one with the 3 different what's it called? The Vikings,
Factions,
yeah.
Vikings, Knights, Samurai. They even have the Chinamen. And
Wait, so they added new factions?
They added one new faction at the expansion. I think it's called the March of Flame, and then they added new hero characters, which is the Magi, which is the in Egyptian, the Afrina, which is a Middle Eastern warrior, female, and a pirate, which I'm still conflicted by that shit. Because the pirate used guns, muskets, and all in her fight style. He or she, depending on what gender you're gonna change them to.
So
The Chinese
no, it's
people
not.
are pretty good though. Fuck the Shaolin though.
I was gonna say, You guys heard about the? I know it's off topic, but you guys heard about the new Twitter CEO?
Is it a
Never
bitch?
bothered.
Yeah, she's from the World Economic Forum. At least that's the word that's getting around.
Okay. Are we supposed to be concerned?
I honestly don't know at this point. I just know that a lot of people are upset about it, like from both sides.
Okay.
I don't know. I think Elon's gonna tank Twitter, but I mean, I think that'll, on one hand, it'll benefit the world because Twitter will be gone, but on the other hand,
Now Humble Marty's arrived. How
Hello,
you
Hi.
doing?
humblest of writers, Humble Marty.
hello, Humble.
Hello, Eloise.
You sound clearer. It's scary.
She's got better technology. Everyone run.
Quick,
I'm
do your computer
using
voice.
cheap headphones.
But you sound better. Like the technology has improved.
Oh, it's just like me
Your
back when I
computer
used to be
voice.
on StreamYard on my phone. Now I'm on my computer since last year, I think.
Quick, do your Siri voice.
You have to ask her a question though.
Siri, what does your mic stands for?
Mic status is primitive.
Ah, that's scary. That's scary. Oh my god, that's dead on.
I had to help my mom with homework once, and since I wasn't supposed to show my voice or say I wasn't her, I had to basically mimic an automated Google voice.
God, Jesus, that's fucking creepy.
Yo, what if everybody every time you ask Siri a question, you're actually asking whatchamacallit, Apple tech support, and they're just pretending to be Siri.
I think
Jesus.
they'd be traumatized because I usually ask my Alexa app some very disturbing questions for the sake of research.
I mean,
I wonder what the. Now you got me curious.
back when I was still going to Lincoln Tech, one of my teachers told me when Alexa first came out, there were actually people listening in, and so many people had to go to like all those people listening in had to go to therapy afterwards because a lot of people were doing heinous shit, like, and they could not do anything to stop all that because privacy concerns.
Well, damn.
Yep. So, like, imagine just hearing all the messed up shit people got up to, like, and not being able to do anything, especially when, like, from what I understood, there were people that heard kids screaming from torture and stuff like that.
You get into some weird shit. You know
Ugh.
that.
Okay, I'm bad, but I'm not that bad.
You know, I don't care
Alright,
if I get
Humble.
arrested for breaking contract. I would have called someone.
Or it's just like Zen gave from Wreck-It Ralph. Just because I'm a bad guy does not mean you're a bad guy.
You sound like Sylvester Stallone trying to do a Russian accent.
Well, I tried to sound exactly like Zangief, like how he sounded in Wreck-It Ralph.
But it came off sound like Sylvester Stallone trying to do a Russian voice.
Wait, did any of those things in Wreck-It Ralph get turned into actual video games? It would have
was-
been. I especially like the one with the lady with the gun, and that was from the
Yeah,
space
Hero
world.
Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish that would have been a video game, man. I would have played that.
That would have been on-rail shooter arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was simulating. An
Yeah.
on-rail shooter.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of existing games that do exist there, but Fix It Felix Jr. and Heroes Duty and Sugar Rush, those are all the games that were specifically made for this film.
I would love to play Fix It Felix. And maybe
Who knows? Maybe in an alternate reality, it's what Mario could have been, or ended up becoming.
I mean,
Or is it based on Donkey Kong?
It's based on Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
yeah. So, Humble, do you have a topic that you want to discuss? Or anything that come to mind?
I don't know. When you were talking about dystopians with great governments, I could definitely whittle away a lot of dystopians I could think of off the top of my head because most of them, the governments cause the dystopia part.
So,
If
do you,
Hmm.
I was gonna ask, do you think a dystopia could exist without a government?
Well, if you went with the anarchy system, yeah, because that's basically no rules. You're responsible for your own defenses. And while divorce is easy, meaning you just run away and abandon everything, your divorcee could hunt you down.
Damn, son. I can just picture a whole bunch of women just dying.
Yeah.
But then on the one hand, would they really have a reason to hunt them down if, there's no government? That means there's no need to pay child support.
No, there wouldn't be really a need to pay child support. And a lot of Americans would end up having to be together for necessity reasons. The scary part is probably not all of those marriages would be very good because also there would be no regulation on like drugs or
It
on
would just
drugs
go
or
on full
medicine.
Mad Max.
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking of.
I can't remember who, but they made a video breaking down Mad Max, what's it called? Furiosa?
Fury Road?
Yeah. Like, all the freaking women destroyed the civilization.
They
Like,
kinda
even
did.
though those guys were, like, heinous people, like, they had everything sort of working. Like, you ladies are going to the desert, who's gonna freaking feed you or give you water?
They're not
Like,
gonna be in the desert. They're gonna be in that fortress. The problem is that
somebody
they're
still
not gonna
has...
they're not gonna
Someone...
use that water to at least make crops. That's the problem I had with that whole idea. It's symbolically trying to say that the water is free to everybody. It's like, yeah, but like, where does that water connect to?
Did you guys just flood a freaking village with all that?
Or they
I
just
think the
or they
village
just
is.
like found it. Like, you ever seen one of those sticks where it's like that Y-shaped sticks that they try to find in order to search for water and they somehow found it?
A few times. I just don't remember which media it was from.
I'm just saying, if they did flood them, then they're all the better for it.
What happened?
I said if they did get flooded, they're all the better for it. Did you see how they look down there? They're all almost skin and bones. They'll die in a shower.
True.
When y'all agree?
Yeah, that's as bad as like when they did the novel 1984. I could not remember it, but the one paragraph I remember the most out of it was where they had one small area that had no rules and everyone just acted like a bunch of kids at daycare without the referee.
Oh, I think. What you mean, Lord of the Flies?
Yeah, it was a kind of a Lord of the Flies situation, except make it be ongoing and the generations go all the way up to the adult.
Holy shit, somebody's shooting fireworks. What the hell?
Yeah, Eloise is playing League.
Oh no, I'm not playing League. That
No,
just
ain't
actually happened.
That ain't
Oh.
league. That is not league involved.
Oh.
Somebody just shot a firework or like a really loud
Oh.
firecracker.
Oh. Never mind then.
Yo, I remember like last year. Was it last year? Yeah, I think when during the water situation, like somebody threw freaking firecrackers out the window from like the 12th floor. And like I was walking by, and I'm just like, I didn't get hit, but like, bro, that could have been me. Cause or like that, like grass could have caught fire too, because it was like really dry.
I remember almost getting hit by a firework. I can't remember. I can't recall.
Also, someone once set like fireworks under the tree that they use for Christmas, under a pine tree, and like it. I don't know how that thing did not catch fire.
We have Hitman Wonder with us as a guest.
Well, hello, sexy people. How you doing?
Oh,
Hello,
just fine.
you happy
Hey.
people.
Yeah, I just like the I would say best and worst of dystopian fiction.
You know, it's pretty hard to find the best because all we get is the worst.
I think it's because lefties don't want to admit that their government policies suck. And that's why we end up with the worst, I guess.
I would say like dystopian governments actually like, be functional, but like the Hunger Games government would have collapsed immediately within like
Yes,
maybe
they
10
would.
years. Like that's why like, the Undying Mercenary book I mentioned, their government, the Galactic Empire, legit acts the same way as the Hunger Games Empire does. Each planet does one thing, just one thing. If you go produce something else, that's haram, and the Galactic Central governments will just bomb your planet because you're not supposed to do another thing. You only do one thing only, and you kind of go, how would this Galactic Empire even exist? Because everything would have collapsed within maybe 1,000 years before these guys ever met humanity. But they just keep on trucking, power to them. Even though they should have all been executed or exterminated by just pissing everyone else off, but it never happens because the guy who wrote it was a Californian, and Californians are not people. That's what it's the Lord.
I'll tell you which one's the best and worst at the same time. The World of RoboJocks.
Okay, that was just fun. I like RoboJocks.
Fucking RoboJocks is dystopian that has the worst government but the best fucking dystopia because you're fighting a big ass robot for your fucking life for fucking land.
My favorite scene in that movie when the guy visits his family is just a big pot of beans with one hot dog.
Yep.
Just one little hot dog.
And his brother's a hippie.
Oh God.
His brother happens to be a fucking hippie. Jeez.
Would hippies even exist in that world? Or any dystopian?
I don't know, cause he apparently they do. He's there.
He's the only one that survived.
And like
It's get cold.
It's kind of fun because he's the hippie, right? He's got like 13 kids, I think.
Oh good God.
He got
like a rabbit.
Like when he went in there, that dude had like damn near 6 nieces and 7 nephews or some shit like that. He's the only one that ain't got no kids. But I'm like, when his brother popped in and his wife showed up, his wife got another one on the way, and you got all these kids running around the damn place. And I think that's how they get their money.
Oh yeah, because they're trying to reproduce the population. They have like posters says, "Hey, have a family, be trad."
Yeah,
Please, we're all dying off.
yeah. A hippie that's living the trad life.
That's
insane.
The truth. That's true fiction.
That is
hippie being responsible. No.
If you want to look at some really good mech action, watch RoboJocks. That shit is amazing.
That's true. Actually, if I think about it, wouldn't the governments from the giant robot mechs actually have the most functional governments as far as dystopias go?
I mean, war is illegal in that world, so the only way you can actually fight is gentleman combat and duels. But you're in a fucking mech this time.
Yeah.
The one I was thinking of was from, I think, Gundam. one of the Gundam series, the
Fire
one
G
that
Gundam.
had the Mexican Gundam with the sombrero hat.
Yeah, Mobile Fire G Gundam.
Yeah, Mobile Fighter G Gundam. It was definitely dystopia because Earth was basically a glorified fighting ring.
Yep.
But they actually had their countries.
Yep. They all live on these artificial colonies outside of space, and they shock put onto the surface to fight
Wait.
on land
So
on
there
the
were.
planet. What's up?
Wait. So sorry. It just I'm trying to get over the fact that there was actually a Gundam with the sombrero.
Yes. There's
Does
even
use
an
maracas.
Ethiopian Gundam with an African shield and a spear
That's
and a
just
loincloth.
fantastic. Jesus Christ, who fucking wrote this poll? Jeez.
Right?
Hey, the American Gundam was one of the funniest because,
It's just gun.
yeah,
Did it
he-
have an eagle head or something?
No, the American Gundam had a whole footballer get up with boxing gloves, and
And he-
shoulder pads doubles as big ass boxing gloves too.
and he was piloted by a showboating boxer.
Yep,
Nice.
with an all American cheerleading squad. Gary, he's our man. If he can't do it, no, I can. Yeah, Gary. They didn't really say his name is really not Gary, but they were whenever time I saw them, they remind me of Gary's little cheerleader from Pokemon. Y'all remember Pokemon, right? With Gary.
Oh yeah.
That's what everybody be. Bitch, would you stand still and stop shooting me? Trying to stab your fucking ass. That's why I hate
It's
the damn
all-
pirate.
It sounds like something more from like No More Heroes 2.
Right? He looks like he does look like Travis Touchdown. He does kind of look like Travis Touchdown. Yeah, freaking Master Asia coming in with that damn Master Gundam, and before that he had that Asian gun, that whatever Gundam. Then there was the freaking Grizzly Gundam. They all had crazy names. Freaking Noble Gundam was Sailor Moon, but it's from Sweden. Get out of my fucking way. That's why your ass is dead. Fucking gladiators can't stand them motherfuckers because they always want to get in your fucking way. Bitch. Respect my authority. Yeah, you get your bitch ass up. Dumbass. That's why your ass got stabbed. Can never win with
Can they
fucking
actually
gladiators.
hear you?
No,
They-
they can't hear me.
It would be funny if they could and you didn't know.
Oh,
I mean,
I wouldn't know.
we certainly do hear him.
I'm just saying I wouldn't know that they can hear me because the mic will be reacted to it. There's an icon over your name that shows that your mic is working, so they can hear me. The question is, do they have mics?
No, my thing is, my little pet peeve is good post-apocalyptic fiction. It's a pain in the ass to get good apocalyptic fiction post or pre. Mostly because most of them are shit. It should be an easy concept. Survivors.
You gotta have fun.
If you have fun, and it's supposed to be group or solo survivor in X scenario. But then when you read it, you can tell these guys have never survived a Waffle House or a parking lot in their life because they have no clue what they're doing. They've never once been outside. They have not touched any grass because they don't know how guns work. They don't know how trade works. They don't know how people will react
Wait.
because
Oh,
so that's cool because you got zombies. Perfect. Zombies, the easiest thing you can think of. Zombies. People, second zombies invade, people become 50, 100 IQs lower and act like retards for no reason, just because you need the body count. But they can't make a good reason why there's such a high body count because everyone has to forget they forget zombies exist and then they kind of forget zombies exist until like the last minute. They kind of go, "Oh no, the zombies!" I'm like,
We usually
I-
call it The Last of Us.
no, not even Last of Us. Like Walking Dead's done it.
That too.
I've seen several. There was one I think I mentioned before, like
It's
on,
like
on
the
Discord.
more that the series went, it's like, did we just forget that there's zombies around?
Yeah, fungus
Like,
zombies. They should be everywhere.
well, not even that. It's just that when in case of Walking Dead, they travel in herds, and I'm like, do they not forget that every once in a while they crowd up in herd?
Yeah, and
Like
they live in
like there
like
should be at
underground.
least an impending herd every once in a while, every 2 seasons maybe.
Or like people forget like they're fungus, so they live underground in buildings or in warmer areas. But they can't forget. They also forget. Like, I know humanity. Oh, humans are the monsters because hey, some people are just deckbags. Happens. But
Yeah.
people tend to forget. Like, yeah, humanity not sometimes not usually the best in certain areas. Let's not forget the flesh-eating monster that will rip you apart just cause. They're technically the real monsters. The humanity's just not helping. It's putting more fuel to the fire.
Mm.
That's dumb.
That's more accurate to the tone. You're not helping. It's not humanity is the real monster. Humanity is not helping us right now. Please go away.
Do you really want to know how? You want to know how far dumb dystopians can get? Look no further than 28 weeks later.
Oh God, don't do this to me. Don't bring
That
that up.
shit,
Please.
that shit was lingering in my head today at work. I'm like, after Ross had shit talked that movie, I was like, man, I want to shit talk that movie alongside with Ross, man.
Yeah, I remember I
Cause
was watching that
gee,
with.
man, the biggest mistake they ever made was the fact that they. I'm like, the one thing that really fucked me up was the fact that the dad actually had access to get to his wife.
God, that was so fucking stupid.
How the fuck is he able to get access to his wife? A quarantined body.
Yeah, yeah. I remember watching it. Like I think it was on TV with my my sibling and my dad, and he was
I watched
fucking
it in the
screaming.
movies with my friend and his
He
girlfriend
was
at the time.
screaming at the TV. He's like, "That's not how that works." Like he remember what Rolls is like when the Nova gas, Nerf gas showed up, and he's like, "I'll just put a shirt up in my mouth." And my dad's screaming at the TV. He's like, "That's not how that works. He'll be dead."
Man, I
What the fuck are you
had
doing?
the only dystopias I remember clearly were some of the ones from books. Like Ray Bradbury had a whole series of what if scenarios.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but
goodness.
the only
One
problem-
began with time hunt traveling dinosaurs.
Based.
Tourist stepped on a butterfly.
Oh, that's Sound of Thunder.
Travels to the future, and then finds out everything's screwed up. So the guy the tour
Fucking
guide grabs
hated
his gun
Sound of
and says,
Thunder.
"Come here, let's have a chat."
I think I know what movie you're talking about.
I fucking hate Sound of
It's
Thunder.
a movie, right?
Short story, but there's probably a movie based on it though.
Because I remember the Sci-Fi channel used to be called Sci-Fi. You know, War Realm. There was a Sci-Fi movie. I think it's called before Sci-Fi changed. It was like legit. They go back in time, like a tour guide, like you mentioned, and there's like a silver bridge they have to walk on, like so it's safe.
Mhm.
Because if you step off it, and the legit guy steps on a prehistoric butterfly and it's the size of a
Sound of
Labrador.
Thunder.
And
Yeah.
then they go back in the present day, and there's like dinosaurs everywhere, and there's like these weird man
It
trade
is called
sorcerers.
A Sound of Thunder.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Is that what I'm looking it up right. I'm gonna look it up. Sound of Thunder. Like after this, because like I just remember the baboon dinosaur monsters. They were,
That
like,
was
chilling
A
in-
Sound of Thunder.
Oh my god! You just brought memories back to my brain. Why would you do this to me? You gave me now flashbacks. You son of a bitch.
Had big ass beetles and shit. Big
Yes, I
ass
think so.
vines growing all over the buildings, all quick and shit. The female love interest turned into a fucking primordial monkey thing.
Yes. Okay. I think we're
In
talking
the
the same thing.
de-evolution side of things. That was A Sound of Thunder. I hated that movie
I
with
just
a
remember
golden passion.
I just remember the monkey dinosaurs. I'm like, that's stupid.
And it's not even because I read the book. I hadn't read the book. I watched that movie hoping to see some wild, freaky shit with dinosaurs, and they gave me freaking big ass monkey dinosaurs, big ass bugs, big ass vines, big ass prehistoric birdie things, and a bitch turned into a purple monkey.
A purple eater. But actually, you brought up, speaking of big bugs, and back to the whole humanity, you could tell when
When she
writers
turned into that, I said, "What the fuck is this shit?
oh my god,
Is that
It's just-
supposed to be our final evolution before we turn into a fucking sea monkey?
it's Barney.
That bitch should be dead then. If she's a sea monkey, she got gills, right? She gonna die.
Give
This
her
hero
a hose.
This hero sucks. He fucking you just doomed your fucking girlfriend. You lucky you fixed the damn timeline, otherwise she'd be like that forever and she would die.
She turned into a purple monkey. Okay, boss.
That's what she did. She
Okay.
turned into a fucking purple monkey.
Sir, take your meds.
And then the bitch turned to
purple
a
baboon.
it should be in the line. And then this bitch turned to a purple monkey. These
It
bitches
probably
is
is.
on my ass.
This probably is in the script. Turned to a purple monkey, and the actor has to.
We
the-
don't know
the
what it is. We just call it a purple monkey.
Special
called
effects guy
we
looks
called
at
him
him and with
Jeffrey.
pure hate.
And we gave it a name. His name is Jeffrey.
Jesus.
Look at
I
Fred.
remember.
I wonder what that is in relation to.
There is a because I mentioned the whole zombie thing. There is a
Excuse me.
there's a writer, Brian Keene, and I used to like his stuff like when I was young, and I reread it now. I'm like, this is kind of ass. In one of the books, there's two books. I think there's three, but it's a zombie book, and it's a little bit unique. Instead of just zombies, like it's radiation / virus / something. It's actually like demons infesting the bodies. So they're intelligent. They're running around. They're talking. They're talking massive
Speaking
shit.
of Stevie, did you ever watch that Van Helsing dystopian show?
I didn't know it was a thing. I haven't watched TV in like 10 years.
I think it was MTV. I think it started on the MTV, but ended up on Sci-Fi for a while. It's on
Yeah.
Netflix. It's got like 5 seasons already, but it's like a dystopia world where there's nothing but vampires populating it. And the daughters of Van Helsing are like these uber vampires that can walk in the sunlight, of course. Their blood can actually cure vampirism
Of course.
because they can cure vampirism. I don't know why they don't weaponize it, but okay. I just remember that the girl who plays Van Helsing also played a werewolf in True Blood.
Oh god. Wait, all of them are women, right?
The werewolves?
No, the daughters of Helsing. They're all daughters, right? There's no
They're all
sons.
daughters. Yeah, one of them
So-
was space sick from that one movie called Stick It.
So I was wondering, did there's any scene in that show where one of them just like goes, "Suck on my titties to live," and the vampire just starts just going down to become a human?
Nah.
If their blood makes him,
But she does get bit a lot, and somehow the vampires never think to try to avoid biting her, knowing
Wait.
full well that her blood can cure her vampirism. Like one of them being a vampire lord, he ends up biting her, and he ends up becoming a human again, or an uber human.
an uber human. What?
Yeah, because he's number one. He's no
Wait.
longer hey Hugh. Number one, he's
So-
no longer craving for blood, but apparently he's also powerful and oh no, I think what it does is it turns them to it takes away their need for human blood. They basically she turns them into one like them, like Underworld, you know. The problem is that few selected ones tend to die in the sunlight, or I don't know. They were freaking finicky about the damn mechanics of the vampirism in that show because she killed her daughter, and her daughter ends up dying in the sunlight. Spoiler: I don't give a fuck. That was a stupid season.
I cured you from vampirism. She runs up the sunlight and explodes.
I swear, I hated that part. They didn't want this bitch to be happy. She was in a coma for God knows how long, and she remembered she had a daughter. She was looking for her daughter. Her daughter was a vampire. Her daughter didn't want to become a human no more because she reveled in killing people. But then when she finally got her daughter, she turned her daughter back, and her daughter still ended up dying in the sunlight. Fuck that damn season.
I could totally picture this.
What was the fucking point of finding that little child if you were gonna kill her the fuck off?
I could totally see, like, daughter, I
I
saved you.
was
You're human
fuming.
now. And she's like, thank you, mother. She runs outside, and she gets attacked. Like a hawk takes her, and then the hawk collapses, and then a lion goes and eats them both.
Are you reading
Like,
your book
sets
yet?
on
Because
fire.
I'm ranted again. He got me ranted.
Oh, man.
And the lion just
I didn't think it.
bursts into flame.
I didn't think it'd be so long.
Oh my
She's like-
goodness!
She's
I'm sorry, but
skipping- she's
that's
skipping.
I don't remember much about that damn
Okay,
series.
this is where we're going then.
Might as well release a bird. Might as well release a bird, only for it to get eaten by an owl.
Oh my god! Not only that, no, she's skipping like full-on fantasy. She's skipping in the meadows, singing to herself.
Oh,
Lands
man,
on
I
anti-tank
hate-
money,
I
explodes.
swear, I hate that shit because, like I said, she was fighting tooth and nail to get her daughter back, and she fucking died. I was like, "Fuck you, show. You want?" I think it's based off a book too, and I think that's what happened in the book, I guess. But damn, I'm like, I was invested in her finding her damn daughter and releasing her from vampirism, only for that shit to fucking happen. I was like, man, fuck this show.
She'd been trying to find her to cure her vampirism. She forgot she's an
I think
albino.
that was the reason why I rage quit. I think that was the reason why I rage quit because now it was just her and her sister, and I didn't even give a fuck about her sister or them going on sisterly bonding journey while killing vampires and shit, while at the same time fighting these fucking sisterly feminist vampires and shit. I was like, I was investing in her fucking wrestling her damn daughter. Now she gone. You want me to fucking watch these damn sisters just take? Look, man, I like Sissy Space as the next person, but I ain't supposed to be sitting around for this shit.
I was more confused by a world comprised entirely of vampires.
That's like, was it Daybreak?
No humans to eat. So what happens? Do they end up devolving and you end up having different vampires, like one of them being some hagfish head at the middle and some uber vampire at the top and then some rat eating thing at the bottom?
Wait, isn't it the plot of Daybreaker? Or Daywalker?
Kinda. Daybreakers.
Daybreakers.
I was thinking it would be something along the lines of like All Tomorrows.
Oh god.
Nice. No, like I think there are ravenous ones. There's also a faction of feminist vampires.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. What you know what they do with the male vampires? They cut their dicks off.
Wouldn't it just grow back?
Nope. Apparently
Oh,
not.
they don't.
They cut their
This
dicks
is
off though.
feminist vampires. They're
course.
basically anti-dude.
It's like you cut your dick off. I just grow it back. What are you doing? No, you can't grow it back. Damn it! I didn't put points in that perk.
Yeah, one of them joins them, and like the first thing they do is cut his dick off, and I'm just fucking laughing my ass off at the ridiculousness of that shit.
What's
and
the
of course,
feminism, man?
And of course, they wear hooded cloaks, and they paint their face white, like bleach
That's
white and shit, and they wear
cringe.
masks.
Does anyone call them?
Are you
cringe
sure
in
they
your
weren't
field?
talking about some blood-sucking cultists?
I don't know. I just know that that they weren't shit. That's all I know. The show hyped them up to high hell, but when it came down to it, they fucking just got their asses handed to them every single time I saw them. They were not shit.
Oh wow, they're basically Starscream. Only Starscream's cooler.
Starscream
Yeah.
actually has a point. I've actually seen that a lot in like media. These guys are like, "Oh, these guys are super badass," and they get their ass kicked every time. Like, these are not villains. They lose. They suck dick. How do they survive this long without getting wiped
And
out?
we devoted a lot of time on a serial killer that became a vampire. I'm like, I'm actually kind of getting tired. Oh, by the way, they have upside down crosses etched on their fucking foreheads.
Wouldn't that burn them?
I'm
Does it feel like fluorescent?
looking at these bitches. I'm like, these broads are fucking ridiculous.
Well, to be honest, I don't
Why
think.
do they exist in this fucking world?
Well, to be
What
honest,
power do they
Factor.
have?
well, to be honest, I
Because
don't.
Edge Factor.
Yeah, I don't think people understand the true meaning of the upside down cross and where it came from.
I'm just saying, like none of these. The thing is, none of these vampires actually have any perks to speak of to differentiate themselves from. I'm gonna show you a picture of how ridiculous this shit. Night, William. How ridiculous this shit was. Because when I saw, I was like, "Oh, don't tell me these are fucking feminist vampires. They are feminist vampires. Fuck me." You guys, you guys see this shit to believe this shit. Look at these bitches.
Yep, Edge Factor.
We are the Wedge Lord because we can't be women. We have to be woman Edge Lord. We're the Wedge Lords.
And
Oh
they
my
also, and for some reason they have different layered belts all over their suits.
Yeah, to hold up their fucking fake ass leather. This show tries so hard to be dystopian Vampire the Masquerade.
That's well. Yeah, actually, I've been looking up the Vampire Masquerade. Being a vampire is not as impressive as it is.
Oh, I forgot the bitch took out a heart from someone. I can't remember who though. Oh, they got bones too.
Oh yeah, I was wondering the bone
adorned.
crotch thing.
Yeah, they got bones adorned them. Oh my goodness, how the hell did I get through this series? Because I thought my wife was watching it for a while, and I was like, I think I'm gonna quit this shit because most of these motherfuckers are making dumbass decisions.
I hate when they
The
make
humans, I
dumbass
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many
Um,
seasons did that show have?
6, 7
Shit. Fuck,
currently.
really?
Currently 6 or 7. Yeah, it ran that long.
Wait, is there plans for season 7?
There are.
Because you said currently.
I'm just saying, currently either 6 or 7.
Oh.
Look, I didn't check the motherfucker to see how much season it had left. I wrote it off. Remember? I just
know
remember
that.
that. Like, I'm just going by what I saw whenever time I highlighted it. You bastard.
You think that's edgy? I can beat you in edginess.
You
You ever read Crossed?
Eat a red cross.
Crossed. Garth Ennis.
Oh, fuck that
You
shit.
know.
Fucking Cross, man.
It's such a cool con. The thing is, Cross is just X-rated the crazies with no
Yes.
potential. Like the first volume was okay, but the rest is like, oh, humanity is all bad and everything's gone bad,
Fucking
crazy.
mutilation,
But the thing is, like, but here's the thing: is when all the infected die because all the diseases they would have, they kind of forget that until like Alan Moore showed up and said, these guys have gotten AIDS, and that's how humanity survives because all the Cross got AIDS and died. I was told that. I was laughing for like a good hour
didn't write
straight.
that book, didn't he? He didn't write that book though.
No, he did. He wrote I think it's called Cross Plus 100 or 100 Plus, like 100 years in the future. Somehow Islam is still around, but every other religion's gone. Don't ask me why or how. Because Alan Moore's a retard, but
because he stroked his dick in front of the Quran.
But here's the problem is like I read a little bit of it and it's like it's oddly very open-minded Islam, not like true Islam. So it's
Bullshit.
oddly women running around without veils and shit. And then like how's that
Bullshit.
Islamic? Yeah, like dude, this is not how that works.
That's fucking bullshit. Still ass steal.
Well, I was gonna bring up like the whole zombie thing right now, taking like 30
Holy
minutes
shit!
before.
Is they all fucking gladiators? Oh hell to the no!
Gladiators.
Fuck the grill, man. Fuck the
He's
damn
playing
gladiator.
For Honor.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna mention the whole
That's gonna be
the
bad
rising
writing.
book of Brian Keene and the zombie thing, like the whole zombie demon thing is actually a cool premise because there's like a pantheon this guy has made. And the thing is, like, cool concept. But after like the first little chapters,
So wait,
zombies are
let
coming.
me interrupt you real quick. Did you also know that Alan Moore made a rape fish?
Yeah, Necronomicon.
Necronomicon.
Yes, that one. Everyone mentions the rape fish one with where she beats his meat and he legit like a cannon fire.
Oh God,
his food.
he went that far?
Yes. Well, even he admits he went too far and he had to pay bills. So he's like, he kind of apologized for that because it went too hardcore. Yeah, I know Avatar Press published it and they really have no filter, but even he said, like, I just had to make money. No, he's a filthy hoe. Because, like, the
You hear that,
courtyard
guys? Alan Moore made a rape fish because he had bills to pay.
fails to pay. The things like the courtyard, and the Providence books, pretty good for like Lovecraft stories. It's just Necronomicon was like the worst because of how just explicit it was, and people were like, "Dude, no." I know,
You motherfucker.
I know this is the whole point of
you,
horror, but like, dude, you
bitch.
need to stop.
Thought
But
you were big and bad with that fucking spear. Fuck you.
back to the Brian King thing with the zombies, demons. It was a cool concept, and after the first couple, like 2-3 chapters, it's dropped, and then it cuts to these evil Coast Guard, not Coast Guard, yeah, National Guard, not Coast Guard, National Guard, evil National Guards who are kidnapping people, enslaving them, and they're like the most stereotypical evil guy people you've ever think, and you kind of go, how has no one ever shot these guys before, and why have they run into any zombies? Because like they're just going out on empty streets and empty cities, running into no zombies at all, even though they should be everywhere. But they just drop it and go like, oh no, these guys are just evil, and our heroes have to deal with them, and they don't actually deal with them properly because they waste their time talking and they get jumped because they don't know what situational awareness is. And the main bad guy is like take Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now and take any charm away from him or anything interesting. He's legit just crazy colonel dude who somehow is still alive without getting shot by his own subordinates because how insane he is. And no one jumps him because he walks around in areas where someone could easily kill him, and no one does or even attempts to. Which
Like
pisses
no
me
one
off.
even like notices
What's
a
the
thing
story
about
we're
him.
talking about?
It's called The Rising by Brian King. There's a sequel called City of the Dead, and I'll bring into that one later. But like the evil colonel dude is they do like over the top evil things to the point where I'm like, how does no one just snap and just kill these guys? Because it turns out when they get in a fight, they suck ass. They legit suck mega dick. And I'm saying like a fucking a wheelchair bound zombie could take them on. I don't think anyone else could be any better. There was a scene where
Hey
one
James.
In the chat, James Patrick.
no.
Hi, James.
In one of the scenes, like one of the characters is like this National
This is
Guard
Stream
dude.
Anonymous. Hello everybody. I'm Wolf Tan, and this is Stream Anonymous, and I'm a streamaholic.
Hi, Wolf.
This is where all you guys supposed to say hi, Wolf.
Oh,
I don't
Oh,
understand the
hello, Wolf.
reference.
Finding
It's
Nemo.
Alcoholic Anonymous.
no, I
Ah,
got
okay.
the joke. I just don't
Okay.
get what's going on
Oh.
in the context.
God.
You want me to continue
Jesus,
or?
guys. Continue.
I mean, unless if you got anything else to say. Because if you want to say something, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to explain the whole one scenario where they could easily killed off the colonel, but they kind of refused to.
Like,
Because
do
the guy who,
they even like notice them or something? Like they notice like they just like don't even notice them or something?
like the colonel, no, they notice him, but they just like any time that main characters could have killed him with ease or like fuck him up, they don't. They kind of just go. They sit there and go, "Oh no."
I meant
Life's
like
terrible.
call him out on his bullshit.
I think maybe one time, and that was like such a quick moment because everyone else is just like head down, like we can't do anything. I'm like, he's gonna kill you anyway. Just start roasting him. You'll kill me, call him a bitch. Because there's a scene where it's this like secondary character who was like a National Guard that went rogue and trying to leave because these guys are crazy. And he meets this prostitute lady called Frankie, and he gets in her car because he kills one of them and he runs away, and he gets in her car and he's saying just drive, and she's saying there like why? He's like, dude, there's legit a Humvee full of crazy angry dudes, just drive. And she's like sitting there for like a good minute, and I'm listening to this. I'm like, dude, just drive. Why you? He's screaming, drive, you drive. But then it was too late. The Humvee just like materializes behind them, and they get jumped. And they punish him by getting a helicopter, flying up, put him on a bungee cord, fly to a horde zombies, and dropping him and bungee cord him to the ground and up. And I'm sitting there like, how big is this helicopter? Because there's like two guys holding him and trying to like tie him down. Like, why doesn't he bring like those guys down with him? Anytime, like he's like he could have done that, and he just killed two of the dudes because they legit have like maybe 10 members of the National Guard left, not a lot of guys. And the colonel's there with this doctor dude who actually met the main demon, and things really pissed me off because the doctor mentions they're demons, and these guys have talked to these zombies who are demons. They should have just tell them what they are. And then no one really has an existential crisis saying, wait, if demons are real, hell is real. Are we doing a good thing? I'd rather don't want to die and go to hell. They don't have that conversation. They don't have that conversation. Which I was wondering, because I know these guys are like thugs. Not one of them goes like, I know we're doing bad, are we the baddies kind of thing? Because demons are real.
Baddies?
Demons are real, and we're not, we're enslaving and raping and all this shit. Like, should we be doing this? Well, we're survival of the fittest, but there's demons and there's a hell. I don't want to go to hell. No one has that conversation at all. People forget these guys exist until the end of the book when they take the convoy of like sex slaves, and the doctor dude who befriended a death kid, and death kid gets thrown out because the colonel's evil, and the doctor should just kill the colonel right there, just take his eyeballs out because the colonel can't fight for shit. The second he got in the fight, he got his ass whooped. It was hilarious.
So the colonel's a fraud.
He's not a fraud. Well, I don't think the book states he's a fraud. It's just Brian King doesn't know how to write a good fight scene.
Oh.
He doesn't know how to write subordination either.
Subordination, like people would have shot him immediately. I know there's some bad people, bad people everywhere.
Command for that matter.
I'm saying like the UN. This is the National Guard. There's people with guns. There's zombies with guns too because they use weapons. No one take pot shots at these guys at all. No one has killed just the military just because they want their stuff. Don't lie to me, people who would have done that immediately. So the colonel, they go to the main underground complex where the main villain, his name's Oob. Don't laugh. Is OB.
Hello, I am Oob. I am your Uber driver.
Dude, like when Oob shows, at least Oob's funny because he's just a massive shit talker, and that's like the best character in the whole book. He just he talks massive shit to everybody. But in the book, he got out of his underground prison, and then he had him and his homies legit set like a kill zone, and he had like an RPG, and they're just waiting for the convoy to show up, and they just jump them immediately and just destroy all their shit. And Oob got like 360 no scope by 50 cal, and he's walking around like half the body, and he's pissed because he can't move. And it became kind of comical, and like the doctor dies, but like the main character was just some dude trying to find his son, the ex-priest, and the prostitute Frankie. Like they leave because they were smart and they just jumped and ran. But all the other like comically evil National Guards forgot how guns work, and they all get killed. And then the sequel to it, Sea of the Dead, it's legit like Fiddler's Green, was like there's like a complex building where people live in, and the characters go there, and the guy who runs the building, he's like this billionaire, and it's so comical. Like he when you first meet him, his head of security is talking to him about like, oh, we got new survivors coming in, and he's talking about like renovations and all that shit. And he's sitting there, it's like, thank you. No, you must leave now. I must masturbate. He goes like, oh, Jesus Christ, he leaves. His words. And he like takes his pants off. He leans against the glass of his window, and he goes like, oh, I love helping people. It reminds me of like Xavier Renegade Angel when he's like pleasuring himself on the waterfalls, like, oh, helping people.
Oh my God.
Legit
that show. Holy shit.
Because the second he started doing that thing popped in my head, and I couldn't stop laughing. Because it's supposed to be like, oh,
goodness gracious, man!
It's supposed to be like disturbing. I'm like, no, this is just funny because how absurd these people are. Well, they go there, and it's They keep
Now leave
talking about
me.
these.
I must masturbate. Wow.
He said, he must. I think he said masturbate or like pleasure himself. Same thing. And it cuts to main guy. The priest is dead in the second book. Earlier on, he gets in a car wreck and he dies. Don't worry about it. He was a cool character, and he comes back as a ghost. It's like a force ghost shows up to tell him the warnings of the evils. But because Frankie, little boy, and main character go to Tower, and he's like they're seeing how things run. And there's like little schools. Each level's like different. And they're warning people like, "Oh, the zombies are actually intelligent. We should know this by now, but we're just acting like we don't for some reason." They're going like they're making an army and they're coming in. No one believes them for some reason, and it comes back to Oob, and Oob's like killing. Like he set like traps and radios to send survivors out to get killed, so they can like spawn in more spirits, harvest the bodies. And the point is basically he shows up, he kills all the humans or like living anything alive. There's like zombie lions and shit, which is kind of cool. There's no zombie elephants. They were in the zoo at one point. No zombie elephants. Kind of disappointed, but they go there. It's like, oh, he kills all the animal life, and then his brother shows up, kills all the plant life, and there's like other brothers show up and they start like blowing up planets. They've done this. It's a multi-universe thing. So he's trying to do that. He doesn't want. He wants to take his time because he likes moving around and he hates his brothers because he's a dick. So he's setting up. He's trying to figure out how do we get in this building. And one guy says, "Well, there's an armory back there. We have a tank." And they're saying like, "You didn't use okay." So they're setting up. They're getting the thing set up. The main character was there to convince his security, who realizes his boss is a nutbag. He should have figured that pretty soon. Well, he says it's like, okay, everybody, we're gonna get invaded. So everyone's getting their defenses up and our weapons ready, and some of us may die, but we gotta make sure we gotta set up a final fight. People don't do that. They kind of forgot that actually happened because when the zombies attacked, there was no defenses. I think they had like 2 dudes at the front door. There was like no defenses at all, even though this tower is stocked with weapons. People forgot. So when the zombies like this building's like a super complex, it's like a 80-something year.
You guys
Like
sound very intrigued by what he has to say. You guys are being very silent.
it's getting it just getting better because it's a super tower. It's a picture of a skyscraper, and it's boom, 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 boom. So from the context of the book, this happens within like seconds. Zombies slam into the building. They like storm out like as a full-on like army siege. Somehow overpower the guards that should have been there, but they're not really. They run. These guys are zombies, by the way. These still follow the rules of decomposition. So, like, they realize, like, we can't stay in these foreign one because we'll start, like, walking around because their little limbs don't work. Well, they kind of forget that ever happens because they're just, like, I assume they're marathoning and running up the stairs. And they're going level by level and just killing everybody. And I was wondering how they get there so fast because it feels like it happens in 30 seconds. And they're already on the 20th floor. That's very fast for zombies. Zombies, demons or not. That's impressive. So they're just clearing out the floor. There's no defense. There's no like offensive or defensive line because people just forgot they had that speech of get ready because they're going to attack. So Crazy Millionaire grabs one of the scumbag security guards, grabs the Frankie girl because he's like, I'm going to repopulate the world with his hoe. We just basically caught. And they're taking by helicopter because I forgot. In the helicopter there's this button they have that like scrambles like the zombie birds and makes their heads explode and actually makes I think other zombies' heads explode some kind of like a sonic boom, but for dogs and shit, but they keep blow their brains up. They forgot they ever had that because they never use it again apart from like one time. It is a very impressive weapon. They forget to use it.
So
it made me so
notes.
No, this guy does not take notes. I'm like, why don't they just spam these sonic weapons? They just start using them. But so they're done with that. The main character gets his son, gets this guy he befriended, this like homeless dude who knows like the underground network, and a pilot and some other guy, and they're grabbing them. They save Frankie from the 2 guys. Oh god, they kill the scumbag guard and they kill the billionaire. And the main guy says, put a bullet in his head so he doesn't resurrect to the pilot dude. Pilot dude forgot because he wanted his Rolex. So just killing the guy again and getting his Rolex. He's like, well, I'm just going to grab this and totally forget. And he gets like gutted immediately. I'm saying, like, dude, you could just kill
Is he
them and
like
take them
that
away.
one director that makes people that intentionally makes people stupid in every movie?
Yes, it gets increasingly stupid. It's hilarious.
No, I'm just
And
saying. You ever seen that one movie Green Room where he
yeah,
intentionally made everybody do stupid things? But when I saw Green Room, I actually kind of actually saw it as legit. Yeah, something like you know, it it just felt realistic. You know?
yeah. Well, realistically, and then being stupid. There's stupid realistic, and there's just being stupid. These guys
Yeah.
are just being stupid. Like they kind of forget what the rules are to just be to die because the guys there's too many people surviving. So they're able to go downstairs to the underground. One guy dies. I think he just gets like yeeted off the railing, and they have to like put him down. And so it's just the homeless man, main character, boy, his son, and Ho. And there's a underground cellar for like from the Cold War, which is like, oh, it's like stocked with food and stuff. Well, they go in there, and somehow, I don't know how, when they're walking down the tunnels, the zombies sneak up on them and they stab the homeless guy. I don't know how they get like these are hordes, by the way, hordes of zombies sneak up on them, kill the homeless guy, and then the father gets stabbed. They're able to run to the cellar bunker door. Frankie and boy goes in there and he's like, "I love you, son. I'll sacrifice myself to whatever." And then he like lights. He gets like there was gas everywhere. So when they secure themselves in the room, he legit Allah bars himself, blows up the zombie leader Oob, which is still a funny name. Oob.
Where the fuck
He
is our
gets
team?
and he gets incinerated and well basically like it's not really how it ends. It gets incinerated and then it cuts to like a epilogue where the zombie rats get into the bunker eventually, and by the time they're there, the kid and the girl is already dead by starvation. Um, and at the end, their souls go to heaven and meet all his friends because they're finally they're together forever type of shit. And that's how it ends. Apparently, this is feeding to like some kind of multi-universe story where these ancient beings from the one of his books, something that's called The Darkness Across Town, legit just info dumps this on you. Basically, there was the original universe, wherever these weird creatures lived. That got super nuked, and all those pieces made the multi-universe by God, or the creator, or the traitor by the 13 brothers. And the 13 brothers are not really related, just more like a brotherhood thing, a biological thing. And they're just super salty about it. So all 13 go to the labyrinth, which is basically how the multi-universe works. Each labyrinth leads to a door to different universes, and they have to go and they're just basically killing everybody because their super salty god killed their universe because they were dicks, and they're just gonna like make him suffer because you blew up my home, I'll go blow up all your homes. And well, not all books, but some of their books follow that mythos, and it usually ends with them kind of winning. And if they lose, it's more like we won, but we lost like 2 arms and a leg to win, but we made it, yay! Because from the across the house, the darkness across town, which actually was actually pretty good. And then there's called the Earthworm Gods, which was actually pretty good because it has Punished Grandpa in it, and Punished Grandpa is amazing. And that dealt with like two of the other Cthulhu monsters. And the darkness across town is like the ultimate monster that like it's just pure darkness. It just eats everybody. But like that's like the mythos on it, which is a cool concept. But they have to make the characters stupid and forget what the rules are, so like the plot can progress. And the more you read it, the more you realize the guy doesn't know what he's doing. It makes me so mad because it had cool concepts and they ruined it every time. It's stupid
Every time.
every time.
Moral of the
It,
story: don't make your character stupid.
oh my god! Or like these characters show up just to die, and you're like, why you waste my time?
Unless if it's some damn, what's his name? He was some Boromir in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movies.
Sean Penn.
Well, he actually did stuff. I'm talking about like introducing character for a page, getting like a multi-line backstory just to kill him off.
Mm.
You kind of go, oh, that actually brings up another book, and I'm going to bleed your ears. There's a book called Clickers, which I like creature feature books. Little monsters running out. That's fantastic. I'm happy for it. It's a cool premise. You're in Maine, somewhere in England. Coastal town, loves some fishing. They get invaded by these uh, scorpion crab monsters from the deep sea, and then they have to fight them off. And turns out they're being chased by the deep ones. I mean, first they call like fishermen, but turns out in the sequels they're actually called the deep ones from Dagoth, so don't worry about it. These guys show up and they're immune to bullets. Don't ask why. They just are. Shut up. To the point where they had to use an RPG inside a walk-in freezer that does not hurt anyone else inside because sound doesn't exist. They kill one of them, but they're where they're in the locker. It cuts to this random lesbian couple driving into town. It's this massive backstory, and then they suddenly get swamped and killed, and the main characters use that to like run away. This random lesbian couple just shows up and is like, "Oh, let's go on vacation," and then they really get killed. They like, you kind of go like, "Why'd you do them? Why couldn't they just figure a different way to get out? Because these fish guys can't be that big of a problem." Just like that scene happened, I was laughing. Just random lesbians just getting murdered out of nowhere. It's so fucking stupid. And that's the scene where the kid gets eaten. Like,
sounds like the premise of Feast.
You bring that up. That actually
Feast is amazing.
Feast. First one was nice. That ones were shit, but
first one is one thing you need to watch because
exactly. You bring that up. You bring that up.
The only problem with the sequels is that they dip in quality.
Oh, exactly. Horribly.
We actually had a high production value, or at least something of a production value to be had, right?
Yeah. You bring that up.
Later ones, it's like, yeah. Go ahead.
You bring that up in the book at the end when the fishermen are attacking the town. Somehow the towns are not killing these monsters easily because all of them have guns. But don't worry, bullets don't affect them. Shut up. Don't think about it. The main guy. He wanted Will dated his MILF. His MILF, like he's like, oh, this girl, she got that thickness. Well, she gets killed. She's like, protect my son. He's like, I will. I could easily help you not get murdered, but I'm just gonna sit there and be upset. So he takes the diner waitress, him and the boy, and they're running. They're on the truck and they're driving outside of town. They should be safe because the monsters are eating people in town, and they're outside of town, further out. They're like inland. They should be safe because why would these monsters be out in the woods miles away? That'd be stupid. Well, they crash their truck or the truck runs out of gas and they're running through the forest. I shit you not, this monster just like appears out of fucking nowhere behind a tree, grabs a kid and goes, oh no. But he takes his time because he's like grabbing the kid and he's putting his mouth over the kid's head. And this whole time, the main guy could have just stopped it. And he's like, oh, what could I do? I froze. I'm like, you have seen people get eaten, ripped apart, and dissolved. You should be over this by now. And you're just like, oh, what should I do? I'll run over and kick in the dick. I mean, you gotta have it.
Like basically, it's Gantz the anime all over again.
Exactly. Like, I can't stand. Like, I can get if you just introduce these creatures and the guy's flipping out because he's. I don't know what this is, but after like the 10th time you run into these things, you should be normal. You'd be like that.
Even in Gantz when it came out to the Buddhist temple art, most of the characters have already started fighting. They didn't just stand around there looking all scared and shit.
Yeah, it gets irritating so hard.
It's like even if they were bad shots, they just outright just started shooting the monsters. Like like they're gonna do something before they die. Like even with Kureno. Managing to rally them up, to rile them up enough to do something.
Yeah,
like that was a for me, that was a pregnant moment for me in that arc during that anime. I was like, finally, at least most of you motherfuckers are actually fighting.
Yeah, it's the horror thing, like, oh, it's scary. I'm like, people have the fight response. If they have a weapon, or at least they're so like they have fought before, they're going to take a swing. If it doesn't kill the monster, you'll like scare it off because if you're a scary monster and someone punches your teeth in, you're gonna like run away and go like, what the hell happened? It's like he sits there, kick is eaten. The monster kind of like just like hops away. You kind of forgot the other two existed. And he's then like, "Oh no, I broke my promise," and then he starts crying. And I'm sitting there like,
This
why
is
was
a
he behind that?
manga or
No, this is
anime
a book.
or a
This is a
comic?
book.
It's a
It's
book.
called Clickers. Yeah, it's a book, and I'm just sitting there like, why was he behind the tree? Was he shitting? He got embarrassed, or like what? What was he miles away from everybody else? What was he behind that tree? What was he doing? It was supposed to be like a shock ending, but a shock ending that's not deserved just makes people frustrated. Because it's sitting there like, why did this need to happen? There's no need for this to happen. Why did this happen? You wasted my time, good sir. My day is ruined. And like that's what most horror books I've and movies I've seen is just like they have to make it shocking and like, oh, what can they do? And you could just, instead of making a logical progression why things should be where they are, they just have to act like mannequins or robots and just act like they have no urgency of their own. I know they're actors or characters in the book, but they should have a mimicry of sapience, and they should have like some
Autonomy and
initiative
agency.
agency. Like that would make sense. These guys would make do this thing because they're human. They probably would make these decisions. If they act like they have to wait, like it's a turn-based combat, and they have to wait their turn, I lose interest because you should these guys. Well, this is happening. This should be happening. Actually, take it back to turn-based, like
Guys, came for
RP.
discussion and we on a tirade.
Yes, I do tirades a lot. It just things should happen, and like how I remember I was reading a RPG manual mentions that the combat actually takes in like 2 seconds in real time. So while this is happening, this should happen is like fast, fast, fast. Because realistically speaking, a lot of things could happen within like a second or two. In books, when like something hectic shows up, everything should be acting in motion, not just one after the other, like it's domino effect. It should be just complete scatter shot, everything going crazy. Complete,
Kind of like being
complete.
Pontypool.
Yeah, exactly. So
That
my
was
rant's
one of the
over.
best dystopias and all that jazz.
So, any examples or stories you guys want to tell?
Well, since that certain someone I was trying to wait for was probably not going to arrive soon, since it's getting pretty late. I do want to talk about one thing, but and he
He'll be
left.
back.
Okay. I do want to talk about one thing. Actually, a pretty short story that I actually went with that actually happened last week, or last week by the time the video started to go live. So I went. Okay, now he's back. Okay,
Yeah,
So I
sorry, I hit the back button.
you're okay. So I went to a con, Indiana Comic Con with my dad, because Indiana's my home, and I've lived there for about 20 years now, 20 years of my life, and so
Mhm.
now once we had to Comic Con, and after I got autographs from three people, three of my favorite voice actors, three of my favorite voice actors, James Arnold Taylor, Tim Daly, and Phil Lamar. And then my dad and I went to one of the booths, which they actually do sell comics. And one of the comics that I have with me right now, that I wanted to talk about this right now, is a Marvel Omnibus, which is the Chris Claremont's run of Miss Marvel, all of Chris Claremont's Miss Marvel. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because there are some issues I do want to talk about with this book, not just from a lot of things hiccups that Chris Claremont did with Miss Marvel, like the infamous Avengers number 200, but that's besides the point. But other things like things that really shouldn't be there in the book, which are two things. Actually, one thing that really shouldn't have been there in the book, and one thing that really needed fixing. The one that shouldn't be there, which was Something to Prove by Kelly Sue DeConnick, because this book came out in 2019. This omnibus came out. Actually, show the face cam. This omnibus came out in 2019, which was coinciding with the release of the movie, and And of course, one of its I had many critiques about this. Firstly, the sleeve of this thing, which I took out and tossed it away because this was the cover.
Yeah. Disgusting.
And this was already the epitome of false advertising because they showed Carol Danvers in her classic Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel first appearance suit and her Warbird outfit, the iconic black suit and with the lightning bolt, you know. But on the spine of the book, it's her first appearance outfit. So
Where
then
should
that's already false advertising. And then now I go to one of the table of content. Yeah, actually not one of the table of contents because there should be only one table of contents in every book. In the table of contents, there's already one part I crossed out because I ripped it out. It's something to prove by Kelly Sue DeConnick. And the reason why I ripped it out and crossed it out because it just added nothing. Like no interesting behind the scenes facts about this run, anything interesting about Chris Claremont's run with the characters or his time working at Marvel. Nothing. It was just 3 pages of Kelly Sue DeConnick just bragging on and on and on about her time being at Marvel and just making examples just so she can make a point because of what she normally does on Twitter, what the Twitter freaks do. And it's just ripped out. So it just added nothing. It just felt like the worst book that we've ever written. But I ain't the only one. Because the introduction, this is basically the one thing, which that's the one I did not tear out because one half actually contains the other half of the table of contents, and the other half actually contains the cover, which is her first issue appearance on the cover. So now I had to grade it. So now I have to grade it myself. So now, for the sake of education, let's go ahead and actually play
Let's
teacher
hear.
and grade this thing, shall we? So now I've already highlighted a lot of the stuff here because I've already did some edits myself already. But now that we're all of us here, let's just go ahead and play teacher with this, shall we? I actually just read the mid 1970s were literally strange days. In the span of just a few years in the world outside comics, America as a nation lost a foreign war, almost impeached the president, experienced on oil-driven financial collapse, watched a major city topple on the brink of default, sent 12 men but no women to walk on the moon, awarded an Oscar to The Godfather Part 2, saw the Beatles break up, embrace a rise of disco, disco. Heck, even if you've seen American Hustle, you've got a pretty good idea how crazy things were back then. Which, well, true, because the 70s were a pretty crazy time, which that part is true. In the midst of arriving on the ladder towards no, in the midst of it all, arriving toward the latter third of the decade, we have Miss Marvel. And then apparently he says again, very strange days, which that part really should not even be there. Because he already mentioned the strange days, but apparently now it's asking Miss Marvel strange. Now this entire paragraph is basically just from the whole creation about Miss Marvel, which apparently which I imagine you guys are pretty much already aware of the history of Miss Marvel, at least when she was made. So then, and actually just to give one part, it was co-created by Jerry Conway. He did co-create some of the stuff because he co-created a lot of the stuff for Marvel, more famously The Punisher, and of course this character in question, Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel. And even though Jerry Conway, he did actually that. Even though Chris Claremont was actually involved with a lot of this, more particularly with the writing. But then it goes on to bring in this crap. Still, the mid 1970s, you have to be an unconscious sea slug to have to be aware of women attempting to redefine their place in culture. Comics, as a reflection of a larger culture, attempted to reflect that reality. Which brings us to Miss Marvel. No, it fucking doesn't. As I related at this time of the introduction of the first issue, because of the paragraph that mentions the creation of Miss Marvel, Miss Marvel was our attempt to create a modern feminist superheroine. No, she wasn't. Whether we succeeded or not, I leave for you to decide. And again, she wasn't. Because that was not the intention to create of this character. She was intentionally a sidekick or protege to the original Captain Marvel. Anyway, that explains her first appearance outfit before she went on to
legacy character.
Yes. Anyways, my very own opinion is complicated by two factors. One, my knowledge.
She says.
No, because it was by Jerry Conway.
Oh, fuck him too.
Yeah. My very own opinion is complicated by two factors. One, my knowledge that our effort was well meant and the product of good intentions, and two, my knowledge is that mainly because and he put up in there for some reason, like it's like a Twitter feed or something. Because we weren't women. So fucking what? There are plenty of women that have worked in Marvel. Did you forget about Louise Simonson?
They did.
And then apparently there's just going on about this, and then once again this just goes on about larger issues about because he had no idea about feminism in the 70s. Literally has very limited knowledge on feminism in the 70s. In my introduction almost 40 years ago, I claimed the reason a woman wasn't writing Miss Marvel was because there were no qualified writers for superheroes. Did you forget about Louise Simonson? And then it also says, and while was technically true, yeah, technically you say, even though they were, it kind of begs the question which I made no attempt to answer and which I find so difficult to answer 37 years later. Why? Because, one, there are women that have written for Marvel, and two, people write what they know. A lot of writers write what they know. If you are going to write a story with a lot of characters and plots, with a lot of characters that come from different cultures, and actually work together, they have to be worked within the story. Look no further than Final Fantasy XII that does exactly that.
Did Kelly Sue DeConnick forget that a lot of the ladies chose to write romance?
Apparently she did. Anyways, then it goes on about like architecture.
Oh, she knows. She chooses to ignore that.
Women don't exist until they're convenient for them.
Yes, and apparently it just goes on and on about everything, pretty limited knowledge that he knows about the mid 70s, and then he goes on to say, like I said, we weren't boy. Like I said, oh yeah, it goes on to be like a boys' club bull crap. There are women in Marvel. There are women who have worked in Marvel in the past. Because then I wrote again, did you forget about Louise Simonson? And honestly, I was a bit ashamed. Then goes on about like that he was a bit embarrassed that he co-created the character, and then goes on. Then
but that's still your character. Or at least that's part of your guy's characters that you create. You should not even be fucking apologizing for creating a character of your own.
Yes. And then says, honestly, I was a bit ashamed. I felt like I'd missed an opportunity to do something worthwhile. Like what? Like what?
You wrote a damn comic book character. That is worthwhile.
Yes. And if you said that it's not worthwhile, maybe you shouldn't have been writing for comics, George or Jerry.
Well, not even that. Just say like this. Say like this, really. It's more of in line of, if it wasn't worthwhile, then you chose a wrong career path. Like, well, Shit, that's what you just said. Goddamn.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, Camavicelli.
But then it
No,
goes
but
on.
like,
Mm,
if
go ahead.
if it ain't worthwhile, why'd you create the character in the first place? Why
Yeah.
can't you create another character?
Yeah, or better yet, why would you work in comics in the first place?
You can still work in comics. My question is, why create a female character in the first place if you didn't
Or why
think it
bother
was
to
gonna
write anyway?
true?
Yeah.
You're on the path of why bother at all. I'm more of why did you bother writing a female character? Why are you suddenly growing a guilty conscience? Is my question.
Yeah. Well, that does work in tandem though.
That's
But
fucking
yeah, not
survivor's
saying that
guilt
you're wrong, but yeah,
or
what I'm saying
guilty
and what you're
conscience
saying
or
pretty much works in tandem.
guilt complex.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what that is. Guilt complex.
Yeah. But then it says Kelly Sue DeConnick, the brilliant and awesomely talented writer, that's a lie.
No, she's not. No, the fuck, she's not.
Yeah,
She
she is
is
not.
good at showing how not to advertise for books.
Exactly.
I remember
She's
two
what-
famous quotes from her. If you don't like my comics, don't buy my books. A few
And
years later, why
they
is no
didn't.
one buying any comics?
I don't think that was even a year later. That was like a month later.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, that makes it
Well,
even
probably,
better.
yeah. Yeah, probably. But yeah, she was not awesome. She was not talented. She's literally what ruined Marvel. She's literally what ruined Marvel. She is what ruined the character ever since. Yes, ever since she was working at Marvel when she was doing Carol Danvers. That's where it ruined the character and caused a butterfly effect on many of the other female characters in Marvel. Jennifer Walters, Mary Jane Watson, Gwen Stacy, all the female characters in X-Men. The list goes on.
Plague.
Yes. And then goes on to say, "Holy crap!" because he writes this as if it's like a Twitter thread or like a diary.
Really?
Wait, run
And
that
then-
by me again.
Then goes on to, but then there's literally "Holy crap" written in this introduction. It was like because he's written this as if it's like a journal, and then suddenly, then says, then I was asked to write the introduction of this collection, which is this very book here. And I was paging and cringing through the first issue. I came across one panel, then as if I could have explained everything. And to look for yourself, look at page 3 and panel 3 as soon as you see it. At least within here, which panel 3 is somewhere like right. It was like somewhere like right here, I think. But then I was mistaken that, and I was thinking, oh wait, he's probably talking about the first issue, the first appearance issue, and saying he was Christian. And I've written down wuss, because that's your character you made. And then says, it almost makes me feel like I did something right. Wrong, you did something stupid. And then says,
It's a cue card that they gave him to write down. They got something on his ass. I just know it.
I can't help hearing that
and
quote
says,
in
I doubt this particular
Kat's
panel influenced.
ditzy lady voice.
I doubt this particular panel influenced Kelly Sue DeConnick. No, it fucking didn't. It just ruined the character. She just decided to do that and ruin her character for the worst.
Stop reading final. You're basically just explaining how he's defacing and defaming himself just to build up a female that's unearned her position in that place.
Exactly. And then that's basically the entire list. And then goes in again like, hey, we're now girls allowed in this boys club now. It's like, again, did you forget about Louise Simonson? And yep. And now just to give this a grade, this really gets an F-. Because right next to Kelly Sue DeConnick, Something to Prove, which I already torn out because that was the worst essay that was ever written. This too is already the worst essay. This too is equally as worse because Jerry Conway, you're being fucking stupid.
This is the guy who wrote Rogue Trooper.
Exactly. He's even written The Punisher too. And just to give us a grade, since we're playing teacher, This introduction gets an F. Case closed.
The guy acted like he was part of the KKK. He did.
Right?
Like,
Like mostly,
He was just being
most of
Dan
these mother-
Slott. Like he was just being Dan Slott. The dude's a fucking pussy.
most of these motherfuckers that actually speak like this now act like they've either how would you say this? Either they raped a woman or some shit or two, or they just act like they're the most evilest person on the planet, and now they're atoning for their own fucking sins by telling everybody how much of an asshole or a dick that they've been because they chose to write females a certain way.
Too self-deprecating.
I'm so glad I didn't go that. I'm so glad I didn't go that route while I was on my quote unquote journey of writing stories and shit. I mean, yeah, I was an edgelord. I will admit to that, but Jesus, man,
Mm-hmm.
like, wow. I'm so glad I was not even. Another thing is, I'm so glad I didn't fall for that bullshit.
As much as
Just
many issues
standing there.
as much as many issues I have with this omnibus, like what we just did here, I'm honestly so glad I actually got this because this was meant to be Carol Danvers. This is meant to be because this is all of Chris Claremont's run on the character.
Y'all get out of my damn way.
But
Like
yet, it's
80s.
unfortunate that it was written by a female
Yeah,
who completely
totally.
ruined Marvel for the worst, and also written by one of the people who has worked at Marvel and it just became, and just like Dan Slott or Kevin Smith, they became fucking sluts or soy boys.
They say I have harsh words.
Is it weird that sometimes some people accidentally call Dan Slott Dan Slut?
no, I've done that before. Well, has Dan Slott ever made anything good recently? Because
Doubtful.
he didn't he make that one school shooter comic?
Oh wow,
Remember that one? Remember that one?
he made a
I
school.
haven't kept up
wouldn't
with
be
Mar-
Ignited,
sorry.
would it?
Yeah, the just some guy did videos on it years when it was coming out. Like a school shooting
Yeah.
happens.
Oh,
Damn,
oh,
I was silent.
oh!
I was muted this whole time. Damn it.
You'll be
Alright,
okay.
No, I said it's called Ignited. I don't think it was like about school shootings. It was about people with powers. But they might as well be, might as well be school shooters. They have the personality of school shooters. It's just they were X-Men school shooters.
They were the best advertisement for the Second Amendment ever written. Because when the
Yeah,
first thing that
because they were
did was
terrified
take
of
the gun.
guns. They have superpowers and they're freaking mutants, but no, they're terrified of
We have
guns.
to take away guns.
We have to take away your guns, because only we can shoot things up.
Because only we can be the Alcohol Tobacco Federation.
I always hate that type of shtick.
Damn, now I'm thinking of what's it called again? Life is Strange, where the
Oh
chick
God,
where the older chick was like,
Chloe.
yeah, Chloe was like, wait, she's Chloe, right? That the blue haired one.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she was like, nobody gets the guns. I get to decide who has the guns or whatever. I can't remember the exact quote.
Oh no, you said it. You said it correctly.
I did. Wow.
I get to decide
word for
who carries the guns, because I am Wedge Lord. Hear me, water. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That was good. That was good comedy.
Don't pull a Jerry Conway here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pull. Yeah, that's actually a pretty bad idea.
Don't
I
pull,
am Wedge
don't pull
Lord.
a
Hear
red.
me, water. Ah!
Don't pull a red. Sorry.
Well, it comes to show you just how much the people who worked at Marvel had just fallen so far off the deep
And
end.
here I thought in the beginning, I didn't think you guys had anything to say, and look where we are now.
Yep.
Or at least on
I gotta go, guys, because it's like 1. It's about to
I
be
was
2.
just about to ask y'all. Y'all ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Y'all weak. Become night crew.
And just remember, do not turn your girlfriend into a purple sea monkey.
Oh, great. He's still not over that.
That
Oh,
movie
shit,
was
my
fucking
dad.
stupid.
So apparently it turns into a toy monkey.
No, like a real monkey.
She
but
looked like a
purple.
fucking 90s
So then why is it
creature,
purple?
whatever.
Because
It's Planet
science
of the
time
Apes,
bubble.
except it was the love child of Planet of the Apes meets Megilla Gorilla.
Or,
So
what's
yeah,
that
it's like a
McDonald's
toy
character?
monkey.
The Grimace? It's just the Grimace. He evolved to become the Grimace.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy now. Let me see if I can find that damn monkey.
He's gonna find it.
Oh, great.
Oh, I
Like,
found it. That was fast. Shit.
Must be like the only purple monkey that exists. Because like
Or
it's like
typically got a full body of it.
Oh, man.
This thing is weird as fuck, dude.
became returned to monkey.
You gotta see this shit to believe it. Jesus Christ.
I am intrigued. Please screen share.
Show purple
I'm not gonna
monkey.
screen share. I'm gonna pop it up on screen.
Not screen sharing.
Well, I'm looking at boobies, so I can't really screen share.
Looking at purple.
Kidding, kidding.
Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini to
Man.
the beach boy.
Hey there, lonely girl.
Wolf is still not even over a toy monkey.
Lonely girl.
Because once he
Oh.
said purple monkey, yeah, it sounds like a toy monkey.
Found it.
Monkey.
Let me make your
Show me the
broken heart like. Look at that! Look at this shit!
Okay,
This is what she
got it.
turned into.
That doesn't look like a monkey. That looks like a rabbit.
It's a fucking monkey.
Yeah, it does look like a sea monkey. Like on the box.
Look at it.
Look at it.
This is what she turned into.
He turned into a monkey.
Okay, I was wrong. It was not a toy monkey. It's a sleep paralysis demon.
It's Ape Sapiens. It's Ape Sapiens' grandma.
It's freaking. It's a something. Besides that, the fucking time travel sucked in that damn movie.
Well, time travel in general usually sucks in media.
All I'm saying is they were fucking around with that damn time travel. Like, I'm pretty sure it was way more sophisticated in the damn book itself.
It usually is, but like time travel is always confusing.
All I'm saying is they said time travel can eat shit and die, and we're gonna just do whatever the fuck we want.
It's pretty based. Fuck time travel, do what we want.
Anyways,
with
I
that.
thank everybody for being here. Those 7 of you, and those 9 of the motherfuckers that keep popping in and out. I'd like to thank our guests, Ultra Burger and Humble Mari. Starting with Ultra Burger.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And the humblest of writers, Humble Marty, or
Thank you.
is it called Late But Here? Who's always late but here.
And for some reason, her icon changed to a fat bird, from a lion to a fat bird.
And apparently her favorite color is green.
Green's a good color.
Go
More
ahead,
of a
sign
yellow
out,
guy,
Humble.
but
I didn't have enough pictures on my computer, so I emailed myself a meme.
There you go. That's our sign out. I didn't have enough pictures, so I emailed myself a meme. The Warrior of Light Final Fantasy Fan 12.
Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, click like and subscribe and share with your family and friends. And make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you get notified of our latest videos. Go subscribe to our... bleh. Go subscribe to 1210 Media if you haven't already. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already. And be sure you stay tuned on July 16th. Wait, what's the 16th that I have it? Hold on. Or no, not July, June. June 16th, I think. Yeah, June 16th, for will be episode 7 of Comic Studies covering Superman for all seasons for Superman's 85th anniversary. So be sure you stay tuned for that. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Final Fantasy Fan 12 signing off, and remember, may the light forever shine upon us.
Good night.
And keep this motherfucker away from Carol Danvers and Kelly Sue Honick. Where the fuck that bitch last name is?
You mean keep them both away from
Just keep.
Carol Danvers?
Yeah, Marvel just needs to go now. Marvel and DC just need to go now.
It needs to burn.
The Bear of the North who barely said shit throughout this whole damn stream.
I said shit. I just was muted.
Eloise the viewer, everybody.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Good night. Everybody leave.
So you're welcome, man. Wolf 10. Remind you guys once again, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to Wolf Fleet.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you